What's up, everybody? Welcome to White Men Can't Pod. It's episode 17, I think. Is that right? I'm not sure. I'm here with two gentlemen.
Yes, episode 17.
Episode 17. We fucked it up for a while, but
Did I do
here,
last week?
Wally's here.
I did.
Bill
right?
is here.
You did
Like
bend
Beckham?
it like Beckham.
You did bend it like Beckham. We're here to do Mr. Baseball. Jack
True.
Elliott, once a great baseball player, is forced to play in Japan, where his brash, egotistical ways cause friction with his new teammates and friends. Obviously, this is the first time I'm seeing Mr. Baseball. What about you guys? Have you seen it before?
This is my first time.
First time.
Okay, first time.
Wait, this came out in 92?
92.
I would have guessed this came out in like 79.
Oh, boy. All right, time for our games before we dig into this. What do you think the budget was for this sucker?
Ooh.
Tom Selleck's
Baseball.
mustache brings it up.
Tom Selleck.
Yep.
Japan.
They actually have to be in Japan.
They have to be in Japan.
But that means you don't got to pay American movie stars. Except for Babe Ruth from Sandlot, you got to pay.
Yep, Art LaFleur.
He's
Again.
in it again,
He is
baby.
the behind the scenes, he's the glue guy of this
He's
show.
the glue of this show, man. He's the Kevin Nash of this show.
Yes. I will say... What year did you say? 92?
22 million. Get it out there first.
All right. I'll say 40 million.
Nailed it on the head, Wally. 40 million.
All right, asterisk. Asterisk.
Asterisk. 40 million estimated, which seems like a lot.
It does
right?
seem like
it
a lot.
It seems like an awful lot.
It really does.
Because there's nobody else famous in this, right?
Well, Tom
Selleck.
Tom
is
Selleck's probably
famous.
half
and his
that.
mustache. And what's his name? Art LaFleur?
Art LaFleur,
What
yep.
does he get paid?
He's
for
the
this?
second most famous person in this, right?
Who else is in this that's that
Isn't
famous?
Ichi...
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Dennis Haysbert, of course.
Yeah, he got the
Who?
other 20. Is this a 2020 split?
Who's that?
Pedro Serrano.
Peter
Oh, okay,
Serrano
okay.
from Major League.
This is
I didn't
before
know
Major League?
his real name. This is before Major League. No, this
Major
was
League. It's after Major League.
It's
One.
after Major
Okay.
League 1. It's
Okay.
before Major League 2.
Yeah, Major
So
League
this is
One.
when they're
was
trying to typecast
like
him
89.
Yeah.
as a baseball player.
Power header.
And he said, no, I'm going to do Jag or some other show.
I'm gonna do Jag. Oh wait, Mr. Baseball. They called me back in. They got me back. All right. How much did this movie make? According to
Worldwide, because I'm sure it made some money in Japan.
a lot to unpack here.
63 million.
It was a $40 million budget.
$40 million budget. Wally got that one on the nose.
$45 million.
What'd you say? 60?
63 million.
We're
both
afraid
over.
of that.
You're both
I was afraid of that. I
over.
should've
Guess
said
again. Guess again.
Well, I think I was dead on the first time I said 22 million.
Okay.
$1, please.
Oh, what a dick move. Wally, you are the winner.
Yeah.
This made
Doesn't matter, but okay.
$20,883,046. Was not released in Japan, from what I could tell. Only
What?
in U.S. and Canada.
All right.
What?
Because it says U.S. and Canada, $20,883,046. Gross worldwide, same number. So
That's nuts.
why the hell wasn't this released in Japan? I
Don't
don't
know.
know. Very, very, very weird. Very weird. All right, Mr. Baseball. Ah, boy. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else famous in here who deserves money. And it's nobody I really recognize.
Well,
so. I mean, good actors, but
isn't
Yeah, the main actress has 3 total movies to her name.
yeah, how many does the coach have?
I feel like the coach is in quite a lot.
Maybe he's in other
Ken
stuff.
Takakura?
I didn't
Yeah.
recognize him. Did not recognize him, but he's
He's
passed
also
away.
known for Black Rain,
Okay.
Railroad Man,
Sure.
The Yellow Handkerchief,
Yep.
and of course 1977's Hakadosan.
Okay.
Good
Oh,
attempt. Good
Nice
attempt.
try. I'm sure that's wrong.
192 movies, though. Or 192 actor appearances.
So he's
So he's
Paul
busy guy.
Giamatti.
Here's the guy.
47
Japanese
Ronin.
Giamatti.
He's in 47 Ronin.
Nice. All right. All right, we begin this movie with some play that funky ass music, white boys. Weird ass funk music. They fly over Yankee Stadium. Tom Selleck is a Yankee.
He's Don Mattingly, right?
He looks just like Don Mattingly.
And this is the towards the end of Mattingly's run, right? 92.
100%. He's a first baseman.
Yep.
On the Yankees with a mustache.
Mm-hmm.
Who, when he came up to the plate, I said, "They got Don Mattingly for this?" They're like, "Oh wait, it's Selleck." Selleck, it's a dream.
Now he played for a while, Don Mattingly.
Donnie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It looks like his career ended in 94, 95, I think.
It ended in '95, right before the run,
So yeah, this was
which is tragic.
this is the end of Mattingly's career, and this guy's playing a washed-up first baseman who had once been a great player.
World
With-
Series MVP,
With basically his nickname, Mr. Baseball versus Donnie Baseball.
yeah, right.
So this, I didn't realize it until right now. This movie's about Don Mattingly playing
It
in
kind
Japan.
of is. So Selleck is a Yankee. He strikes out in a big game. We don't know what the game is, and he gets mad, and then the umpire yells at him, "Get back in there, Sonny, and try again. Strike 4." And then he's like, "Fuck," and he almost breaks the bat, and the umpire's like, "Get back in here. Where are you going?"
Yeah, I honestly thought, wow, it's 3 minutes into this movie and they've already got some error, and then I realized, oh no, it's just a dream sequence.
It's just a dream
Okay.
sequence. We go out for strike 5, and this continues on and on. He continues to strike out over and over and over again. And then he wakes up, all fucked up, in bed with a lady, of course, with a lady, in a sorority.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was sorority because these girls might not even been old enough for that based on the way they had the room set up.
Oh.
No, there's like 7 beds in this one room. It's gotta be a
There's lot of
sorority.
pink and things that were
No, it was a
Childish
sorority
in
because there was
nature.
stuff like hanging out front, like on the sign.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know. Do we do an eBay war here? Because it's the same topic. Because we
tell
get
me.
naked. We get a naked Tom Selleck here.
Baby Jane.
Naked Tom. So you could go to the eBay wars real quick.
What is this a picture of?
This
Why
is
are
a
we just
picture
looking?
of Tom Selleck's butt from this
Okay.
movie. It's actually from the shower scene.
Okay, yeah.
Not from this scene where he runs down the hall and with like his clothes in front of his wang.
Yeah, like
But,
why not just get dressed there?
Yeah, they're
I
all
never
asleep anyway.
understand
Who
that.
cares? Why are you running away? So we can see that physique. Anyway, Tom
The Selleck
Selleck.
physique, yeah.
See that baseball
He's
physique.
jacked. Selleck's jacked in this. He looks good. It looks good.
Honestly,
Jack for 92 standards, yes.
I
It was-
would
I mean,
I
he
would
was
take his
on
body
roids.
personally.
Yeah, wouldn't you take?
Compared to my own right now, I would trade.
I would take any Selleck thing and trade it for my own right now. You talking about? Look at that butt. All right,
I mean, I
this
might
is
take
a
his hair. I might take his hair.
Definitely.
a
I'll take
mustache.
that.
You want that stash, right?
No, I actually hate mustaches.
But his is the
But
best.
it's his. I mean,
Yeah, it's his. So, all right, Tom Selleck,
Oh, dear
Mr. Tom Selleck, Mr. Baseball, rear nude photo. Ooh, baby,
which you could just produce yourself, but
8x10 photograph of Tom Selleck from the film Mr. Baseball. This is an actual photograph printed recently by A Lab. Please note my eBay name only appears on the scan, not in the actual photo. Thank you for clarifying that.
that's important. I was
Now-
was gonna ask you that.
Now,
So
very important here. Very important here. This guy.
Baby Jane is her name.
This guy is a very successful eBayer, so let me give him a shout out. Thank you very much, Hollywood Beefcake.
All right, beefcake.
Beefcake, 100% positive rating, 1,000 items sold. This guy is prolific.
He is sold a
Selling
lot
these
of
butt
butts.
photos. Selling a lot of butt photos.
Oh
What do you think a Selleck butt photo goes for on eBay?
It is 4-3 currently for Bill.
Okay,
so
so I
he
go
has to
first?
go first.
What is a Selleck butt? Should I get this and frame it and put it in this basement? Maybe
See,
I'll just put it
please
I
in
was
No.
gonna say
In the new-
1,000, but
in
if you're
the
talking
new
about maybe
bathroom. In the
buying
new
it,
bathroom.
yes, definitely.
in the new
If
bag?
you're buying, if you're talking about maybe buying it, it's probably not at its full
1,000.
value of 1,000. Now it is a photo, not autographed.
Not autographed.
Not Baby Jane.
Not autographed. No Baby Jane on there though.
I'm gonna say they're trying to sell this one for $4.97.
Okay, Wally, you got one?
oh, I don't want to be that guy, but I really
gonna
want
do
to
it to
be
you
that
again. He's gonna
guy
do it to
because
you
it's
again.
gonna be super low.
He's gonna do it to you again.
But I'll say $10. I'll give you a $5 wiggle room.
All right, Wally,
Appreciate
you win. It's $14.99 for this
Wow.
8x10.
Still necessary for the new bathroom.
Is it necessary to put? Is it necessary? To
Necessary
put that I have a naked picture of Tom Selleck in my new bathroom? Yes. No, but it's sterile and I like the taste. All right.
It's worse.
The Yankees and Tom Selleck were at spring training. They mess around with a rookie, which is kind of a fun scene. We're like, oh yeah,
Oh, they light a show on fire?
and yeah, no, I don't think they did that.
Oh,
Yep.
no, this is a rookie where they're just like, oh, don't worry about it. This is just the biggest thing that's ever happened to you. Yeah.
If you mess it up, it'll just be like the biggest regret of your life. This is where we get the same coach, Coach Art LaFleur,
Yep.
who only does baseball movies apparently, or football.
he
had the one
was-
football movie.
What was he in? He was in, for sure, The Sandlot.
Yeah, he was Babe Ruth in The Sandlot. He
The
was,
Big Wasn't he in The Big Green?
No, he was
in
the
a
coach.
few things.
Was the coach in
Oh, he's playing Buck Showalter in this movie.
Replacements.
The Replacements, right?
He
right.
was
Little Giants?
he was the assistant coach in Little Giants for the Cowboys.
No, he wasn't.
Not the dad.
No, maybe not.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. Was he in Little Giants? I forget now. He's in a ton of shit.
Yeah,
anyway, it
he's
doesn't
been
really
in
matter.
at least 3 movies that
He,
we've watched.
was in A League of Their Own, or not A League of Their Own, Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams,
He
yes.
was definitely in Field. He was the first baseman in Field
Yep.
of Dreams.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So he's back from the dead.
He's back.
The agent calls
Been
Tom
in
Selleck.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The agent calls Tom Selleck and says your lawnmower commercial has been pulled. Why? Well, you got caught speeding with 2 broads. Well, why didn't that help? There's a new first baseman on the team. He's looking real good. So Tom Selleck is about to get cut. He says, "I'm a fucking former World Series MVP. What are you doing?" And Art LaFleur says, "That was 4 years ago.
Yep.
We've had to trade you."
I do like when he's like, "Oh, so what? You're impressed by a 500-foot home run?" Like,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we are. We called everyone to try to trade you, and nobody wanted you.
Oh,
So we
you're not
had
sending
to-
me to Cleveland, are you?
Please.
First he says Canada. I'm not going to play in Canada to avoid the taxes.
Yep, makes sense. Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
And then yes, he's like not Cleveland.
Which having lovely baseball stadium, I get it though.
Oh, not Cleveland. You're not hot in Cleveland. Sorry, Cleveland. Instead, he has to go to Japan, which he's like, I don't want to fucking do that. But he has no choice. He has to go.
Yeah, he says he's not doing it, and then he gets on the plane.
Of course, he's on the plane going. He meets the owners, and they give him their business cards.
Mm-hmm.
Japanese tradition.
Yep.
So he gives them baseball cards in exchange.
Yep.
Yeah, like that.
I love the interpreter in this movie. What's his name? Joji?
Yeah, something like that.
Yoji, I believe.
Yes, Yoji.
He goes to the press conference and says he gets presented a jersey, which is number 54. He's like, 54? That's not my number. I'm 48. And Yoji saes, "Oh no, that's the number of home runs you're expected to hit while you're here." I was like, damn.
Yep.
He can't even hit with strike 5, 6, 7, and 8. How's he gonna hit 54 home runs?
So he gets on the field and he says like I could like throw it out of the stadium or something like
Well, he
that.
says that, but he
Yeah.
still can't hit.
Yeah.
We go to we're at the press conference, and he gives a lot of shit answers. So Yoji translates them into polite answers.
Yeah, he just basically says what he's supposed to be saying.
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
So the writers though eat it up.
They love him. They give him the name Mr. Baseball
Mm-hmm.
because of his. He's a big American, fun guy. More Cleveland bashing, a sprinkle of racism.
Sprinkle.
Sprinkle, little sprinkle,
Sprinkle?
little sprinkle. A lot of sprinkling.
It's like a cupful of
Well,
racism.
you can't start out. You can't start out perfect, even if you are Tom Selleck. He sees his apartment. It's a pretty sweet apartment. Like, this is nice. It's like
Yeah.
big thing, nice overlook.
The
He
problem
go-
is it's small.
It's
It's
small.
short, yeah.
It's short because
It's short
he's
and
very
small.
tall
It's like
man.
a hotel room.
Yeah, but
Which-
there's a lot of things. No hotel room has that many rooms these days. He watches TV and he watches Knight Rider in Japanese, which I think I want to do now. That looked like a lot of fun. Knight Rider.
I don't think I ever watched it in English. So.
Knight Rider in English is great. Knight Rider in Japanese, better. He checks on the rookie that took his place in opening day. He hit 3 home runs already. So
Oh,
That
speaking of
sucks.
which, that was Frank Thomas.
was that Frank
Oh,
Thomas?
that was Frank Thomas.
That was Frank
I did not
Thomas.
know that.
Oh, the big hurt.
All right, well then, good job, Yankees. Frank Thomas is better than Don Mattingly.
Ouch. That hurt me.
It's true though.
Not better at running to first base.
Well, no, that's a dangerous thing to do.
Remember that time he got intentionally walked and was injured walking to
He
first
pulled a
base?
hamstring or something. Yeah,
Oh Jesus.
Poor Frank.
he's a broadcaster now.
Frank is?
Yeah, he does
Him
like
and
pregame.
Big Poppy?
It's him, Big Poppy, and Alex Rodriguez. It's the weirdest
that's
crew.
not a likable group right there. That's not a likable group.
1.5 of them are likable.
Who's 1.5? All of that is Big Poppy? The one
Big
and a half?
Poppy. Well, all right, 2.
Because he's
1.5
so
is Big Poppy.
1.5
and
counts
half
for
Frank
Big
Thomas.
Poppy?
I don't dislike Frank Thomas.
I don't either.
I don't like him, but
Yeah, I don't dislike Frank.
and I
Sorry.
will say, Alex Rodriguez is much better as a commentator than he ever was as a baseball player. In the same way that you kind of like hearing Tony Romo talk,
Oh, I don't mind Tony. And I didn't mind him as a player.
I kind of like hearing Alex Rodriguez talk baseball. He turns out actually knows some things about it besides steroids.
Turns out he knows some things. Future Yankee manager, I'm sure.
Oh.
I hope so.
I'm
Oh,
sure.
what a disaster! I hope so.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. So 3 home runs from Frank Thomas. So Frank Thomas is real good. He walks into the locker room and gets yelled at by all the team members to take his shoes off. Dennis Haysbert has to translate.
meet
And
him.
this says like, "Take your shoes off. What are you doing?"
And he's just the other American there trying to make
he's
it.
another American. They call me Hammer. He introduces the team, and then Tom Selleck goes, bunch of swinging dicks in here. Dennis, I like this because it reminds me of the wrestling show. Dennis Haysbert says, "I'm Gaijin, just like you." He's like, "I'm not Gaijin. What are you fucking talking about?" It's like, foreigner. That's what Gaijin means.
Mm-hmm.
The manager comes in, yells at Tom Selleck, says, "You got to get in shape. You got to shave your mustache, and you have a hole in your swing."
Now, okay, as we find out, he does have a hole in the swing.
Yes.
But I don't care who you are. You don't tell Tom Selleck to shave his mustache.
Which surprisingly he doesn't have to do.
No,
He
he's
doesn't.
Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
He's not doing that. There's more translations to smooth things over.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point, Tom Selleck yells out, in 1992, "Free mustache rides for all the ladies."
Yes.
He sure does.
Yep. Yep. And so awkward.
He
It's
talks to babes in the crowd who are interviewing him. And which is that the same lady? I'm not sure.
That's
Is it-
Hiroko.
It's Hiroko.
It is
Right,
her,
So he
yes.
talks to Hiroko and other ladies. Then he doesn't want to do the weird stretching exercises, which look
I actually very
fun,
much enjoyed
sort of
this
fun.
scene.
The little bat flip dance moves, whatever
yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do them. So then he says, "All right, well, why don't you do my stretches?" And his stretches are all bullshit. The hokey pokey.
This made me laugh when he's like,
Oh.
"All right, now head between your legs, stick your butt out."
I hate this guy
I
so
like that.
much. Oh my god.
Like that is a jerk thing, but that is not racist. He's
I
just being a jerk.
No, yes, exactly. He's being a jerk the entire movie.
But in that
He
case, the
learns
coach kind of
his
put the
lesson,
coach is
you
like,
guys.
"Fine,"
doesn't learn his lesson.
because he
Sure
says like,
does.
oh my god.
"I like am a ball player. I know how to stretch." So the coach is like, "All right, well, do yours then."
yeah.
And he throws it right back. All right, fine. We're gonna literally do the hokey pokey.
Such a dick.
I love when he says, "We don't do sprints. We're
We're not
We're not
athletes.
athletes.
We're baseball players.
baseball players." What the
True.
That might be my quote of
Especially
it.
since he's a first baseman.
Jack takes batting practice. Doesn't look very good. Coach says, "You have a hole in your swing." Told you that already. You have a hole in your swing.
Yeah. Which so there's this pitch. Did they, or he just said it before he even swings at it? He says you have a hole in your swing.
I think he says it.
He gives him advice. You like
He gives him
lean,
advice.
be on your front foot and
You
then
need to
roll your
roll
hand.
your hand or something like that. And he won't do it.
And he
So
doesn't.
then
And he like
he makes-
crushes a couple.
He makes the batting practice pitcher actually throw for real,
Yeah.
and then he strikes out.
So this whatever they call it, they have a name in the movie, but this pitch that he
Yeah.
can't hit.
The forkball?
Which-
Shinto or something.
It made me think of Daisuke Matsuzaka when he came to the Red Sox,
What was
Oh,
his
yeah, we're-
fucking pitch?
and he had the Avisa pitch, which he called the gyro ball.
Right.
And as far as I can remember, because he had like 6 pitches, but they talked about it. And if the best I can remember is the gyro ball. Essentially, the way it spun, it had made like a little dot, which made it look like a slider, but then it didn't slide, and that's when people would get
Oh.
out. So for like 2 weeks in spring training, people were mystified until they realized, oh wait a minute,
It's not going anywhere.
he's just throwing us a hanging slider. So then they realized that, and they started hitting it 500 feet.
Which made me think of it's the Eliminator combination forkball slider.
It's a new one I'm working on. Get a piece of it. You can name it. You can call it the masturbator.
Oh god. The coach gets mad. Tom Selleck gets mad. Jack. Eventually, I'll call him Jack. He gets heat when he spits on the field. It's a disgrace to spit on the field. Dennis Haysbert says
Yeah.
So he does it
The field
anyway.
is sacred. Like, well, that's the first thing they got right.
he does it anyway. He spits
and then
on
he
the
spits
field.
anyways. Yeah. Like, what a douche.
Then
I mean, baseball players spitting on the field is part of the game.
I like this where he goes into the locker room and he's like, "All right, everybody's telling me what to do. Maybe someone could teach me how to take a crap." And then he goes in the bathroom and sees that it's a weird toilet in the ground. He's like,
Someone
"Can
needs to
someone teach me how to
me
take a crap?" Great quote. Quote mountain potential. Then he comes in to the showers and gets into the bathtub, and everyone's appalled that he goes right into the bathtub.
First you clean yourself, then you bathe.
And then one of the Japanese players who can speak English says, "It's like jerking off before sex." They go out to a bar with all the American players in Japan. They make fun of him for being called Mr. Baseball. They throw him a paper, and Tom Selleck realizes that Yoji changed everything he said in all the press conferences. And he gets pissed off. Then they talk about the Gaijin strike zone. They say you're going to be in trouble. You need to be ready for the Gaijin strike zone, which is a huge fucking strike zone. You're going to strike out a lot because they want you to strike out a lot
Yeah.
because you're bigger than everybody else. Yoji says when he's confronted about changing the answers, "You're a disrespectful asshole," basically. Jack says, "Fine. Maybe that's true, but don't censor me. I don't like that." Jack goes on a date with the hot reporter, who's also the manager's daughter, but we don't know that yet.
We don't know
But
that
she
yet.
Why is she a reporter?
She's something to do with the
But
team,
she's
though. She's like a
also-
handler almost.
She also like sets up the commercials.
Yeah.
Like, what is her job?
She's got to do like it's got to be marketing
She's
is her
the-
job.
Yeah, but why is she asking him questions at the press conference then? Anyway, he goes on a date with her, and Yoji says, "You got to be careful of her. She's a torrent." Is that what he says? Torrent.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
And she's basically bad news. Don't do it. She says a lot of funny things about sex during the date. You trying to get me in your pants?
Oh yeah.
Are you ready for party action? And he laughs and falls in love with her. And she feeds him Japanese steak. And he's like, "This is better than Kansas City steak." Kansas City has
Wagyu
good
beef.
steak?
They got good barbecue.
Okay. That's true.
I would. Yeah, I mean, I
She
would
says-
eat barbecue first, but I'd gladly eat a steak.
This
in
is a
Kansas
business
City.
meeting, not a date. What are you talking about? You need to do commercials, motherfucker. And he's like, I'm not doing that. And he gets all pissed off, and she's like, "It's in your contract. You signed it. You have to do commercials." And then he storms off. Like, "Fuck you. I'm not doing that." Then he comes back because she drove, and he goes, "Where do I live?" "You drove me here. I don't know how to get home." Into the first game, everyone's yelling, "Ooh, major leaguer." Then he takes a strike in the Gaijin strike zone, and the ump says, he yells at the ump, and he goes, "You're big. You can hit." So he does. He gets a double. And the American shortstop yells at him and says, "Stop yelling at the ump. They're just gonna fuck with you anyway."
He because he wanted to stretch it into a triple, and his teammate
right.
didn't
Yes.
round third. And then the guy's like, "Well, yeah, they're not gonna lose honor by
nobody takes a risk.
yeah,
by
they're not gonna
to
lose their honor."
Then he gets up again, grounds into a double play. And it ends in a tie after the 15th inning.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what the fuck is this shit? Why are we not still playing? Dennis Haysbert says, no game can continue after a 15th inning. He's like, a goddamn tie? What the fuck is this bullshit?
In America, we want as much free baseball as we can get.
Yes. The manager says, you still have a hole in your swing. You're not listening to me. That's why you can't hit. The paper writes him up, so he has Yoji read what the paper's saying to him on the bus or on the train, and everybody can hear it.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like laughing at him. He does the commercial now, which is great. Doesn't go very well. He's not a good actor, even though Selleck is the best. We see the coach yelling at the team. Jack is not taking it seriously. When they come back, one of the players comes back from hitting. He slaps the player right off the head. Just slaps his own player in the head for being an idiot. Jack doesn't like that. We see a home run. Our first home run. I think is that from Dennis Haysbert? I forget.
I think so.
Then we see Jack come back up. He strikes out, gets in the field, gets more advice from American players.
I do like how they kind of look out for each other.
Yeah.
Like when the shortstop's like, you're about to get picked off.
Yeah. Yes. Jackie decides he's going to fire up the team because they're losing, so he goes into the dugout and starts yelling at everybody and tells them to get it together. Like, get them up on the get them up and clapping and watching the game.
Mm-hmm.
He gets up to bat. He gets assigned to bunt, and he gets really pissed off that he has to bunt. Goes and yells at the coach, and Yoji says, translates back and forth, and the coach yells something at him and walks away. And he's like, what'd he say? He said, I suggest you bunt. He tries, but he can't bunt very well, so he fouls one off. Then he swings away, and it's a long foul ball, and then eventually strikes out. And the coach gets pissed. Coach gets yelled at by the owners, and they say they're going to fire him if he can't turn it around because he's a disgrace to the team.
Mm-hmm.
There's no honor. This is great. Tom Selleck gets fined for doing all these things.
Oh, yeah.
And then he leaves more. He puts a bunch of money on the floor like a dick. And then gives more money. And the coach is like, what's this for? And he's like, for what I'm about to do. And then he smashes more shit.
Yep.
For breaking equipment, disobeying the manager, and smashing the helmets. And when he walks off, he says, you still have a hole in your swing. They read the paper about his slump. He's not in a slump, though. He calls back to America, says, when are you going to get me back, to his agent? He's like, you're hitting 200 in Japan. You're not coming back.
Fair.
Then we see a clip of him doing another commercial, big hit, happy body.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what, 5 Hour Energy, basically?
Yeah, and he's like, don't make me look weird in the commercials. And, of course, the commercials are him looking real weird.
Yep.
He's at a vineyard or something
Yes.
also.
Yes. Then he goes, he talks to Hiroko and says, take me to a temple. And
Yeah.
they walk around a temple, and she's like, you're just trying to get in my pants by asking me to go to a temple. And he's like, no, I'm not. Definitely not.
Oh, yeah. She said, this is the weirdest pickup line I've had before.
Yes.
No one asked me to go to a temple.
So he's like, no, seriously, I want to come here. And she's like, you need to take things more seriously. And he's like, I take things seriously. It's like, no, you don't. You don't take Japan seriously. You don't take me seriously. You make fun of me.
Mm-hmm.
And then he lays out his 4 flaws, which are basically, I'm an arrogant dick in 4 different ways.
Yep.
Just an arrogant dick. And then he rings the bell and prays at the temple for a vision. Gets a vision of a nice cold beer.
Which, okay.
At the end of the date, he kind of sheepishly is like, you want to come up to my apartment
For some tea.
for some tea? And
Why is she attracted? Why is she, why?
Again, have
He's
you
Tom
not
Selleck.
seen
Have you
Tom
not seen
Selleck's
this guy?
mustache?
Have you not seen this guy?
Why is this weird to you?
Oh, my God.
Have you not seen him? Have you not seen this guy? So she's like,
douchiest.
I don't like tea. I'm not going out for tea. And he's like, fuck, I ruined it. She's like, I'll drink another beer with you. And he's like, oh, marry me.
All right.
Marry me. They go up there and she says, I prepared a bath for you. Why don't you come and get in this bath? It's like, great. It's a hot bath. He gets a massage.
And even then, he's like, this is too good to be true. Like,
Yeah.
I better not mess this up. Like, he's hiding himself and stuff.
Yeah, what are you doing? Then she starts talking about baseball, and he's like, I never had another job. I've never done anything else. Comes to the conclusion that he's afraid to miss instead of wanting to hit. And that's when we get the mantra of, I will hit. I will hit. So we get to party sexy time or whatever she called it. Getting in the pants. He does it. Back on the field. He yells at the umpires. He yells at his own team for not taking any risks.
Yeah.
Yells at the umpires again. The coach comes out and says, just play and stop doing all this bullshit. And he yells back, baseball's a game. It's supposed to be fun.
Except
Yep.
the way he's playing, that doesn't seem fun.
I like the way he says it, though. He's like, when you're a kid, bet you didn't go out there imagining you were ready to work. Like, this
Yeah.
is a game.
Yeah. Jack gets hit by a pitch. Charges the mound. Dennis Haysbert's yelling from the dugout. He tipped his hat. What are you doing? Stop. And he's trying to beat this pitcher up who accidentally hit him.
Yep.
And the symbol of that is you tip your hat like, oh, sorry, my bad.
Yes.
And
He's like, I don't care if he did it by accident.
yeah,
I'm still gonna...
I'm going to charge him out. And so the coach gets yelled at. Jack is going to be suspended.
Mhm.
He gets pinch ran for. He's pissed off. He's brought dishonor among the team. Then we see the girl. We find out she's somebody important's daughter. We don't know who. She's a big girl. She's going to do what she wants.
Here at the Shell Loyalty Lab.
There you go.
Yep.
He meets the family. She's like, come meet my family. This is a very quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very quick turnaround. So he goes and meets the family, but her dad's the manager.
I love how, because they meet the grandma and grandpa first,
they
and
hate him.
they're like, "What the fuck are you
Yeah.
doing,
They-
girl?"
They hate him immediately, and he's like, wow, that was quick. I thought I was Mr. Baseball. And we find out it's because the coach is her dad.
Yep.
And he actually knows English, so every single shitty thing Tom Selleck is saying,
Yeah.
he knows. He goes to walk out, and then Hiroku says, you know, that's like the most massive insult ever if you leave a dinner like that. You have
Yes.
to, like, you have
Yeah.
to sit
My
here.
grandmother made this dinner.
Yeah,
You're
you
not
have
leaving.
to do it. They eat noodles and slurp like crazy, and it kind of weirds out Tom Selleck. But then he dives in, and
Which that is a thing, though.
Yeah,
Like, that
it
is
is.
like
normal.
it's a way to show that you
you enjoy the meal.
enjoy it. Yeah.
So then he eats
He
noodles
goes
and
nuts.
slurps like a boss, and then he keeps slurping for everything. He slurps for everything. More shit talking Japanese. Like, what is he saying about me? You have a hole in your swing. God damn it! Stop telling me that. She yells at both of them and says, "You need to start working together. I'm out of here," and drives away. And he has no way to get home again.
And I heard Tom Selleck goes to follow her, and coach is like, "Nope, you're not gonna
She
leave with
was-
her.
she was
She
never-
did this whole thing on purpose.
Yeah,
Yep.
she was never
Like,
gonna.
she knew
leave
how
him.
this was gonna go.
Yep.
And
She played us for fools.
Yep. And then so they start talking it out, and he's like, "Well, you never wanted me anyway." And the manager's like, "No, I'm the only one that did want you. I knew you had a hole in your swing. I knew you have a big season in you." So Jack's like, "All right, what if I played ball? What if I actually listened to you?" And coach is like, "Meet me in the morning, every morning at 6 a.m. so we can get in shape." And then he says, "All right, I'll do it." And he says, "No joking around." The coach like, "All right, fine, no joking around." So he runs. He fields grounders in the mud.
Mhm.
The team is impressed. And then they're all surprised when the coach is yelling at him to run. Like, he speaks fucking English?
Yeah.
What? They never knew.
Which also, he says like, "All right, teach me to hit," and he just continually says like, "No, you're not ready to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, just
Not
go
until
run
you-
more stairs."
Not until you're in shape. And then he's running at one point in the rain and the mud, and he's like, "All right, time to stop." And he's like, "I'm not a pussy. I'm going to keep going." And he's like, What's a pussy?
Yeah.
There's a whole discussion about that.
Yeah, that was a little unnecessary, but okay.
What about hitting? You're not ready. Jack runs at one point and he's like dead tired, and then the whole team comes out and runs sprints with him
Yeah.
as a show of solidarity. And then Jack brings the team together and speaks Japanese and says that he apologizes for dishonoring everybody and he's ready to play.
Well, which if you memorize one line, okay, but this is like a whole speech he gives.
This is quite a bit
Pretty good.
for a guy who has not tried at all to speak any kind of Japanese.
Yeah.
Hiroku and Jack make out in her marketing office.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yep. Nope.
Yep.
6'8"
No, all the
Hot-
other girls like, ooh, look at that mustache.
hot American comes in and makes
I heard
out with somebody.
mustache rides.
You giving those out?
Foreigner.
He goes to Yoji and says, his interpreter, and says, "What the fuck, man? Why didn't you tell me that was the coach's daughter?" He's like, "I tried to several times. I thought
Told
she
you,
was
troubled waters.
Troubled waters. She was cursed. She was a torrent. What do you want me to say?" You
My
did it
dad
anyway.
says she's the coach's daughter.
Yeah, right. So Yoji and Jack also agree to have respect for each other.
Yeah.
It's quite nice.
We finally are ready to practice hitting. So we go to a driving range, a golf driving range, and that's where we practice. And then
You guys never did this?
no
No, never.
practice
would
with
like
a golf
to,
ball
no?
for low pitches because there's going to be low pitches in the strike zone, I guess.
I honestly wonder if I got a hold of a baseball, I might be able to I could probably out hit my drives.
Oh, without a doubt, I could out hit my drives. I'm not a good driver.
I'm not a good hitter, but still.
We go to the next game. Jack finally gets to play again. He homers, and everybody celebrates from all the work that they've done, and they get yelled at for celebrating too much. So Jack pulls aside the coach and says, "Look, I heard if you get drunk with your boss and you tell him off, you can't be fired or yelled at.
Yeah.
Japanese tradition. So here's this whiskey. Let's fucking go." Slams down a whiskey and they start drinking. And he's like, "All right, I did what you said. Now you need to loosen the fuck up." And he's like, "All right, I guess I will." So we get more showering, more loosening up, more showering, rally caps, all kinds of fun
Oh, yeah,
things.
yeah.
Yep.
We find out that if he hits more home runs, Tom Selleck is going to break the coach's home run record.
Yeah,
'Cause
the
it
most
was-
consecutive games with a
Yeah.
home run.
It was 7 games in a row.
7 games in a row, so he's on a hot streak. So, of course, right now, when it's the worst possible time, his agent calls and says, "You're getting picked up by the Dodgers. Scouts coming. They're going to watch you. Basically, just don't have to shit the bed, and then you're out of here. You're good."
Mm-hmm.
It's like, great. Love it.
And he's in bed with Hiroku at the time.
Yep.
That he gets this
She
phone call.
is fucking pissed.
Yep. As she should be.
But also, like, this should be a happy thing for him.
I do want to play for the Dodgers. What the fuck? That means you're just going to leave me. I'll bring you along. Not as a piece of property, you won't.
Yeah.
Okay? There's no way for this to be good for me. Like, I have completely lost. She's not gonna go to the game. Everyone's like, "You should probably turn on the radio because, you know, the game's exciting." So she does. We see the owners are mad. They don't want the record to be broken.
Not by a Gaijin, that's for sure.
Nope.
Finally, the captain, I think it's the captain who speaks English, says the thing about jerking off. Says, "All right, finally I respect you," and like gives him a speech.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, they burn his foot, which is
Yeah.
the trick that they keep
They
doing. in
prank
the
him
dugout.
back.
Yeah.
Pranks. And
Which, how is that a prank? Like, that
I
seems
don't
kind
know.
of dumb to be a
then
prank.
all pranks.
Did
are
Why
dumb.
just ask us to burn his foot?
I got a lighter. I'll set his boot on fire at the next box.
I think it'll be pretty funny.
I would laugh.
You guys
I would
are
laugh.
Fine, I'll set your house on fire by just not letting
Don't do that.
All right.
Don't do that.
Bill's like, I got nothing.
It's not Bill's.
No skin in this game.
So they burn his foot, and everybody's laughing, and then the manager walks in, and everyone gets real quiet because they're like, "Shit, we're in trouble for celebrating and doing
Being
stuff."
happy.
And he's like, "Let's kick ass."
Yeah.
So then we see they're all chewing tobacco now, which
Yep.
is great. They're all chewing tobacco. Jack gets up. He gets intentionally walked, and he's like, "What the fuck?" So he can't break the record.
His first base American buddy is playing, and he's like, "Yeah, they $1,000 fine for every pitch that they throw you in the strike zone. So he's like, oh, well, I guess I'm not hitting tonight.
Yeah. So they're playing the Giants,
Yep.
the dreaded Giants, who the manager hates and
are-
desperately wants to beat.
Yeah, and they're like the best team in Japan every
Yeah.
year.
Yes, and that's a real thing. So they score and tie the Giants, and everyone's fired up. The pitcher, after giving up a home run, they tell him to leave him in.
Yeah.
And then a guy makes a diving catch, and they go out to talk to the pitcher, and he goes, "Now I own the pussies." I'm like, I don't think you're getting that quite right, but okay, good. All right, I like the idea. I like the spirit behind that, but I don't think you're saying it quite right. You do own the pussies. He gets intentionally walked again. So he swings at an intentional walk pitch. Is that even legal? Can
Yeah.
you even do
Yeah,
that?
you
Oh, yeah.
absolutely can if they actually
Somebody-
throw it close enough to the plate.
So like somebody famous hit one.
Swung
Like,
during an intentional walk?
yeah.
like a Joe
something.
DiMaggio or somebody. One of them did it.
Yeah, I remember it was even a thing. It was a Tim Thibodeau thing where he would tell the good players
Tim
on their team,
Thibodeau thing.
like,
Good
stand in the
God.
very corner of the box, and if they're dumb enough to actually throw it over, crush
Swing
it.
it.
Like
Yeah.
no one's gonna be paying attention.
Well, he swings at it, gets a hit, and everyone's pissed off. Say it's not a hit because he stepped out of the box. Which I don't even. Is that part of the rule? I've
Yes.
never
It
seen
You
it.
cannot-
is.
You cannot step on the.
So he steps up. He had stepped out of
can't
the
make
But
box.
this
contact.
also was they just were calling him out because
Yeah.
They're
it's-
calling him out. The coach comes out to argue and gets thrown out like an American manager.
I do like how he would intentionally like duck his head and like walk into the
Yes.
umpire.
Yes.
Not headbutting him, just like
Yeah.
chest bumping.
Yep. Giants hit another. I guess he doesn't get tossed. Giants hit another home run, so they put on the rally caps. Even the manager starts banging the little things together because they do have celebrations, which I thought was fun. Like they all walk out of the dugout and bang those two horn things
Yep.
together.
Yep.
So he does that. This time he gets plunked on purpose, and the pitcher won't tip his hat, and he tips his hat. John,
He's like, tip
Tom
your hat.
Selleck, and
Tip
he's
your hat.
yelling at him. So they get into a big brawl, and then eventually
Not
it's
kicked out though.
tied with a 3-run home run by Dennis Haysbert. Then
Yeah.
to break the tie, we got bases loaded. Tom Selleck up, gets the sign. He's like, "Really? You want me to do that?" Making it seem like
He wants
it's a bunt sign.
Yeah.
The coach is like, "No, swing away.
Yeah. Break my record.
Go ahead,
basically.
break my record." But instead, he goes up and bunts, and they win because they're not expecting it.
They're currently 1 run down, and he bunts.
And they score like 3 runs. Is it 3 runs?
How? It's a bunt.
Well, not.
The bases are unloaded, right?
I don't know. I don't remember.
It's weird. It's more than just one. Anyway, I like how this is a second baseball movie. 2 baseball movies, very
One
close
by a
to
bunt.
one by a bunt,
Yep.
too close together. We
What
find
was the
out
other one? Rookie of the Year?
Major League 1.
We didn't watch that.
We didn't watch it yet, but 2
Spoiler
movies
alert.
like 3 years apart,
Oh, okay.
where a bunt wins the pennant because this is again the pennant, not
Yeah.
whatever the World
Not
Series
the
is over there,
championship.
not the championship.
Which their championship trophy is a sword.
It's pretty sweet.
It's fucking awesome, is what it is.
Japan does trophies well.
Yeah.
In wrestling, they had the best trophies, except for those weird tag team title
Those weren't
trophies.
great.
There was like one muscle,
Yeah.
and then the other guy had the other muscle trophy, and they put them together. Real weird. Anyway, they win. Manager's very excited because they finally beat the Giants. He says, "We kicked ass." He loves saying that. The owners apologize to him, and they say they want him to stay. And he walks away. He says something polite in Japanese, and then walks away and says in English, "That's going to cost you, Chief." So he's learned a lot from Tom Selleck. Dennis Haysbert gets called to the show, baby. He's going up.
Yeah, the
Yep.
scouts, like the
Scouts
Dodgers,
loved
signed him.
The Dodgers end up signing him. The manager then things get real romantic. The manager's like, "Look, as a family, we're stubborn but worth it, just like you. So you got to go like make amends with my daughter." Then we see the manager go and talk to his daughter and be like, "You got to
On
make
his
amends.
behalf,
You got to
yeah.
make amends with Tom Selleck." But there's a great part where he keeps accidentally turning on the stereo. I love this. He like accidentally keeps bumping into the stereo and turning on the music
Yeah, I didn't understand what was happening. I was like, why does the music keep playing?
because he was
yeah.
accidentally, awkwardly bumping into it. Anyway,
Oh.
dad and daughter make up. Then we see we're back in the majors. Tom Selleck is back.
So did he stay for the rest of the season?
I'm assuming.
I was confused when all of a sudden it just hard changed.
I'm assuming he stayed until
Who
the end of the
knows?
season and then went back to the majors. So
So didn't go to the Dodgers.
nope, we're spring training with the Detroit Tigers.
Yep.
And he's killing it. He's also kind of a coach.
He, I think, is a coach. I think
Is he
he's
the
just
coach?
taking batting practice.
Is he a coach? or is he
That's what
playing?
I
feel
took
like
out of
yeah,
this.
I feel like he got a coaching
He took a coaching
Job.
gig and then was just
Yeah.
taking batting practice
to
because
show them like this is how you
How
wanna
many
swing.
coaches just are out there taking batting practice all the
I
time?
mean, if you're newly retired, I feel like McGuire probably did it for a while.
You think?
I don't know.
I think Gabe Kapler's out there doing batting practice
I mean-
before Giant games.
Gabe Kapler is perhaps the best fourth outfielder of all time.
Oh God. Anyway, he's working for the Tigers, which I'm a big Tom Selleck fan, and in most of his shows, he wears the Detroit Tigers hat.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
In Magnum PI, almost every single episode, he has the Detroit Tigers hat because that's where he's from.
Okay.
And I think he's actually a part owner of the Tigers
Oh, really?
in real life. So when he was a Yankee at first, I'm like, this isn't right. Why isn't he a fucking Tiger? Oh, because it's all
That's
going
what
to
he's
come
gonna
back
end up.
around.
Yep.
When he gets to the pinnacle, he's going to be a Tiger.
Yep.
So I guess he's the manager of the Tigers.
But also, his girlfriend's with him.
She's there.
She's there
Hiroko's
working,
there.
doing
She's
something.
marketing.
Yeah.
She's doing her marketing. And somebody calls him Chief, and he thinks that they're going to get in trouble. He's like, no. That's what I called my old coach. So call me Chief. That's good. And that's it. That is Mr. Baseball.
Yep.
What a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It's
good.
fun. Come on.
It was not fun. It
You
was.
didn't
It
like
had
this?
fun
No.
parts
It
for
was
sure.
fun. What are you talking
sure.
about? Why do you hate
This is
movie?
the worst movie that we've watched.
No way. This isn't even close to the worst movie.
We haven't
we've
watched a lot of bad movies.
This is not.
This is worse than basketball.
No, come on. Better than basketball.
Basketball
Basketball's
was
better.
funny, at least.
This was funny.
Mm,
Come on.
this was racist.
Sprinkler. He learns his lesson.
He doesn't learn his lesson.
Of course he does.
What does he change?
he changes
changes
everything.
nothing. He,
He
makes
learns
them
how to hit
change
the
to-
Invisipitch.
Yeah,
He
he
learns
learns
how
how
to
to hit, but he
Yeah.
makes them all change to be
He-
like him.
It's a
And
And
he's a
win.
terrible person.
And win.
He's a terrible
He's a
person.
It's a
winner.
meeting in the middle, Wally. Come on.
It is not a meeting of the middle.
First of all,
he gets everything out of this.
all of your opinions on this movie are invalid because you said this guy's not hot and his mustache is bad.
Yeah.
Automatically fail.
you're
Automatic fail. Automatic fail. First question on the test.
He
Fail.
is fat in this movie.
He's not fat.
He is not fat.
No way.
He's got a very nice dad bod.
He is the best dad bond you could ever have.
I would love to have that dad bod myself right now.
Wrong.
Oh God,
Wrong.
terrible movie.
No, absolutely not.
I was gonna say, well, are we doing that yet? No, we have other
So
stuff.
let's do stats and goofs.
Okay.
There's when they're drinking together, the manager and Jack, the amount of whiskey in the bottle keeps going up instead of down.
I hope that was like
There's
a
some
purposeful thing. though.
bizarre baseball plays. The pitcher's at one point the pitcher is wearing number 11, and then somebody warming up is number 11. There's a lot of like weird things like
Yeah.
that. The Dodgers wanting to hire him. The Dodgers playing Atlanta on Saturday. No series actually begins on a Saturday. Whatever.
Is that true?
That's what it says. It usually begins on a
Usually
Friday or
it's-
Thursday.
you get a weekend. Yeah, I guess I don't. There's nothing that says it can't, but usually it won't. It'll be like the weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about ejections in here where people don't get ejected when they should have been
Yes,
ejected.
that is very true.
Some weird translations. Nothing crazy. Just some goofs. Just a couple goofs. No big deal. This movie's not bad. Quote Mountain.
I need someone to tell me how to take a crap.
That might be it.
There's some other. That probably is it, but there's a few other ones that I thought were fun.
Okay.
When he's yelling out in the field and he says, "Jack Elliott bring you the best Major League thrills for the fellas and free mustache rides for the ladies." Hiroku says in English, "I have seen free mustache rides offered on T-shirts in America. Always by guys you would not want to ride with."
That's a good one too. Yeah.
Then when the Hammer is explaining Gaijin to him,
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
it's like being a black guy back home. Only there's less of us. And then my favorite of the translations was Jack Elliott yells, "Come on, it ain't over till the fat lady sings."
Yes.
And Yoji looks confused and goes and says to the rest of the team, "When the game is over, a fat lady will sing to us."
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
Baseball is work, not fun. Baseball is a grown man getting to play a game. Let them enjoy it. I think it's the crap.
I think it's a crap.
I need
What about-
someone
you
to
got
tell
any-
me how to take
We
a
didn't
crap.
talk about this. You got any naked pictures of your wife? No, but I got some of yours. Is that what they say at first base when they get there?
Apparently,
Because earlier
he
he
says
says,
it the entire movie to
Yeah, he
everyone
says
who
something-
comes to
"You got any
Several
naked
times.
pictures of your wife? You want some?"
Several times.
You want some?
All right.
I like how he tries to say it to one of the Japanese players, and obviously they don't understand him. So he goes, all right.
All right. Who's the most valuable player in this movie? Tom Selleck, no doubt.
Hammer.
Tom Selleck's mustache.
Hammer.
Now, see,
Tom Selleck's
Pedro
mustache.
Serrano makes me want to say it's Hammer, but no, obviously it's Tom Selleck's mustache.
Jesus Christ.
Tom Selleck's mustache.
I don't care if you say it's him or the mustache, but it's Tom Selleck.
One of them. I can't believe you don't like this movie. I mean, I
Tom
knew
Selleck's,
it. I
Tom
knew
Selleck-
it.
Selleck's
like Tom
mustache.
I knew
Selleck.
it.
Tom Selleck's
Why do
mustache.
you hate
That's
Tom Selleck?
Well, no. It's not that I hate Tom. I
the
hate
hell-
him
what do you
in
got-
this
what do you
movie.
got
He's a
against Tom Selleck?
terrible person in this movie.
He learns his lessons.
He does not learn his lesson. He
gets
learns
the
how to
girl.
hit the ball, and then he
He
forces
becomes
everybody
best friend
else
with the manager.
to do what he wants to do.
Yeah, because best friend. The manager says, like, "Please date my daughter."
Please date my daughter. How much more like of a good
And
guy
then-
can you be?
She said that she doesn't want to go to America, and then she ends up going to America.
Because he helps her to get a job in America.
Oh my god!
She doesn't want to go
She's
just
marketing.
be a trophy wife. So
She's marketing.
he hooks her up with the Tigers.
She's a great marketer. Look at those commercials.
All right, what are your ratings for this?
I was leaning towards like a 68-ish,
68.
a 6.8-ish, but I
Okay.
feel like I have to go like 10.5 to balance out Wally.
Yeah, he's gonna give us like a
But
1.
because of the it's not the best we've watched, but I think that combined with the mustache, 6.9 is the correct rating.
God.
Again, because you're gonna sandbag this whole thing,
God.
just like people on this team are trying to hurt Tom Selleck at the
Yep.
beginning. Give me.
I was about to intentionally walk this movie.
8.3.
8.3. There's no possible way you think this is an 8.3. 8.3 would make it the second best movie that we've watched.
I mean, it should be the best, but 8.3.
that is insane. What is your real answer?
You're gonna tell me 1. So
I'm not.
8.3.
I'm gonna tell you one because you said 8.3.
8.3.
I do have to go to 10.5.
8.3. 68.
All right, so 6.9.
68.
And you're saying
That's what I'm saying. 68. No, like a true 68, not 6.8. All right, fine. What did I say? 8.3. Give me
8.4?
7.9.
6.9, 7.9.
There.
So I was going to
Jesus
say like
Christ.
3.9.
Yeah, I know. He's gonna ruin it.
It's not a good movie. I can't believe you guys like this movie so much.
It's not great,
It's
but it's
horrible.
enjoyable enough.
It is not even close to one
not
of the best
horrible.
movies that we've watched.
6.9 does not make it one of the best movies.
It
not
makes
horrible.
it better than like half the movies that we've watched.
No, that's not true.
It's not horrible.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It makes it better than 6 of the movies that we watched.
All right, so you're going to crank it up then?
No.
No, it's
Okay.
definitely not, because he's gonna lowball us right now.
I will. I'm gonna say 4.9. I'm gonna
Jesus
make it.
Christ.
It was horrible. If without taking this into,
Horrible.
I was thinking This is at best a 4.5.
Oh
Oh,
my
no, that's
god,
too
it's
low.
way better than that.
It's enjoyable.
It is.
It's so watchable. I can watch it again.
So what is that?
On
What do
mute.
we end up now?
Just watch
I
that
don't.
All right,
mustache.
so I'm
You
gonna
have to
say,
average 4.9 and 68.
No, I'm
you
saying
can't do that. Yeah, 68.
divided by 3. We've got a 6.4.
So that puts it at the bottom, then, right?
Yeah, because he fucking
It-
lowballs.
No, it's still in like 4th from the bottom.
The
Really?
fourth from the bottom.
Yeah,
What's it higher then?
it's higher than basketball. It's
Oh.
higher than
Basketball got
the
rated
replacements. Insane.
No.
And it's higher
No,
than the
no.
Big Green. That one I can understand.
All right, so maybe 6.9 is a little high, but not. It
not
seems like it
outrageous.
seems like it slotted in there
low.
about right.
What is it below?
It is
Like,
currently just
very, very below.
just
Just
below.
below. I'm sorry.
Bend It Like Beckham and
Come on.
Maybe it has to go the other way.
Yeah,
then.
I
Glory
could
Road.
watch this 10 times more than either one of
Bend It
those.
Glory
Like
Hole.
and Glory Road. No, this is
Glory Road's a good movie, but not rewatchable. Like I watched it once, I'll probably never watch it again. It's a
This
good
isn't
movie.
I probably won't rewatch
This
this
is
either.
rewatchable.
This is terrible. Oh,
It's not terrible. It's not terrible.
Stop saying it's terrible. It's not terrible.
we have to have differing opinions on these shows, guys. No one's gonna listen if we're
ridiculous.
just. Oh yeah, that's great.
No
oh,
one
yeah,
listens anyway, so what's the difference?
We gotta build an audience.
Why? It says a 6.0 rating on IMDb. So
Yeah.
while you're wrong,
No, you guys are wrong.
You're
what did we
point and a
think?
half.
6.9
You said
and
6.4 was our
7.9.
final.
6.4.
So
was
we're
our
pretty
final.
close to that.
Yeah, because of me for bringing it down.
Well, we knew you were going to bring it down, so we brought ours up. I should have given it a fucking 9. All right, that is it, Mr. Baseball. We have wrapped it up.
Yes.
What a review! It's your turn, Wally.
It is.
For me to sandbag your fucking review. 1.0. I don't care what it is.
So I've taken baseball off
Yeah,
my
it has
list
to be off
because
the
it's.
We've done
5
of them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
I also took football off because I just did a football movie, so I don't
Okay,
want to do
fair,
another one.
sure. Fair.
So I'm gonna spin the wheel
All
right
right,
now.
we have a wheel.
It's spinning, and it's
Still
gonna
spinning.
end
It
with
says, "Who wants a mustache ride?" Wally, you clearly don't.
it's gonna be basketball.
Basketball again.
Basketball. And what is my
There's some
basketball?
good ones, maybe.
Ooh.
Ooh, I added one to my
Plenty,
list, and I don't even know what it
plenty.
is. I have to look that one back.
Let
up.
me
Plenty of
just
good
make
ones.
sure that it is still available where I thought it was
Plenty
available.
good ones.
Say Space Jam with LeBron James. Say Space Jam with LeBron James.
Incorrect. Halfway there though. We are watching original Space Jam 1996.
Love it. Absolutely. Love
I
it.
did rewatch
Damn it,
this
Wally! Why'd you have to pick something I like?
when the new one came
Come
out.
on.
I did watch it. It's way better than the new one. It
Oh.
wasn't as good as I remembered as a kid, but it is
It's
a
still good.
kid movie.
There's some
It's
great
got Larry
stuff in
Legend in it.
It has
Larry's
Bill
clear.
Murray in it. Bill
Larry's
Murray.
clear. He's not white. He's clear.
Yeah.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's.
I
Huge
can
in
already
this.
tell you right now, MVP of the movie, Bill Murray.
Uh,
Oh, defense.
Marvin the Martian.
I don't play
Newman.
defense.
Newman is in there.
Yeah, Newman. I've seen this movie a lot.
I hadn't seen it in a long
So
time.
many times.
Then when the new one came out, I watched both of them in one night. That
Yeah.
was a mistake.
Yeah.
I
you watch a good
unintentionally got
movie.
drunk that night.
And then you watch a terrible movie.
Can you name the players, like the NBA players?
Yes, I
Because
can.
They're real weird.
Muggsy Bogues,
Sean Bradley,
Patrick Ewing,
Charles Barkley,
and
Larry Johnson.
yes,
Yes.
Grandmama. Yeah.
Now, you know what's funny to me is that you never see them all together except for at the end.
That's true.
Charles Barkley is never with
I was
the
going to
other
say
four.
they're walking through the hospital.
Yeah,
isn't
and
he?
Charles isn't there.
Okay.
And for some reason, Muggsy is the one in a wheelchair in that scene.
Yes.
And all the other guys are walking. You're
So
like,
they-
he's the shortest one.
Right,
But
because
that's,
they're going to hit their heads on that thing.
Yeah.
but that's
That's why.
well, like he could have just been walking and been fine.
Right.
Sure.
That's the idea.
But it was he was actually injured during. That's why he was.
Was
able-
he?
Yeah, he actually had his knee injury was at that time.
Oh, okay.
So
Bugsy. How is
Yeah, I like that Sean Bradley represents the best that Earth
Sean
has to offer.
Bradley, part of the best
I
that
don't like
Earth
the
has
sound
to
of that.
offer.
Fumble.
he won't return to the game due to an abdominal injury.
Oh.
But
Oh.
I haven't looked to see how many points he
Don't
has.
look then.
Don't do it.
Don't look. I did, so I'm telling you not to.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh boy.
God damn it. You know who else is in this movie? Vladi Divac. He's in this movie.
Is he really?
he?
Vladi Divac. You know who else? Del Harris, a guy I made fun
Oh,
of
yes,
for being
of
in the Hall of
course.
Fame.
Oh yeah,
He's the Hall of Fame.
Vladdy-
Oh yes, we've talked about.
Vladdy
it.
actually talks in this movie.
yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's one of
the
the
Lakers protest playing because of
Yeah.
the plague or whatever they've got.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I think there's some kind of coronavirus going on or something. All right, that's it. Space Jam's next. We're done. This movie's great. Wally,
No.
you are
It
wrong.
is not.
Who wants a mustache ride? Peace.